Welcome back. Well, we had booked my next guest following his press release, his party's press release, about protesting the inaction of municipal and provincial governments on the presence of the encampment at McGill University. But now here we are with the camp being currently dismantled. To get his reaction, happy to have on the show Éric Duhaime, Quebec Conservative leader. Éric, thank you for jumping on this morning.
Always a pleasure, David.
So you had come out publicly condemning both the Plante administration and the Quebec government for their inaction regarding the McGill encampment. How do you feel about this morning's events?
Well, it's about time. I mean, I met the administration of McGill on Monday morning. We arrived there, and we saw all the vandalized structure of the administrative building that happened over the weekend. It's just disgusting that we've let that go on for over 2 months. I hope we're going to learn the lesson that there's no way it should have taken two months and a half to dismantle, that it should have been done as soon as they arrived. You can protest. I mean, freedom of speech is very important in our country, and I understand that. But on the other hand, this has nothing to do with freedom of speech when people are committing illegal acts, when they're vandalizing the public property, and when the City of Montreal and the Quebec government are trying to figure out who's not responsible of that. It takes way too long to figure it out. Even I heard Valérie Plante this week saying that, we can't intervene because it's on a private property. I mean, how's that? Like, have you ever heard such an argument? Like,
never. I don't understand
if someone is camping on my field, it's because it's my private property, and I call the police, they're not going to come. I mean, what does that mean? I can't figure it out still now.
But you were also, in your statement, highly critical of the Quebec government, the Legault government. What would you have preferred to see the Quebec government do during this entire crisis?
Well, there's a Minister of Public Safety, and obviously there were students who weren't safe. There were workers who weren't safe at McGill for over 2 months. The only people who were safe were actually the illegal people who were camping there. The second thing is, there's a minister responsible for universities in Quebec, Pascal Derry. It's an institution under her responsibility, and she should instead of trying to put the monkey on someone else's shoulder, she should have taken her responsibility as well. I mean, I would have liked them to come out and be much more proactive, go on the ground like I did, and make sure that it stops ASAP. How come it took only 2 weeks in front of the Caisse building, and how come UQAM, even Université du Québec à Montréal, was faster than at McGill to get rid of those? We need to find out what happened. How come it took forever at McGill to dismantle that camp? We're all happy today, except a few, but I heard one of them calling you a few minutes ago. But almost everybody today in Montreal is relieved that camp is gone. But I'm really concerned because they could go elsewhere tomorrow morning. Sure. I mean, and what are we going to do? Are we going to wait for another 2 months and a half before we move?
That's a good question. And then it becomes also, I mean, last week, François Bonnardel, the public security minister, did call out the Plante administration, and actually Valérie Plante reacted very forcefully to that shout out from the mayor, from the Minister of Public Security. So I guess my question to you is, would you have liked to see some sort of intervention by the Quebec government? I mean, I'm wondering how the Quebec government could have acted differently on this one.
Well, they could have assisted McGill University first off, because at the end of the day, it's not even the City of Montreal that is intervening right now. It's a private agency that is doing the job. So
the police are there in support. The police are there in support.
They're watching, but they're not doing the job. And still, we need to understand and to figure out, and they'll need to explain to us how come it needs to be a private security firm that is hired to get rid of those people, and how come the police has no power of intervention. For me, it's not clear at all. And nobody's giving us clear answers right now. So that needs to be clear. And when you're Minister of Public Safety, you cannot say it's not your responsibility when people are not safe in Quebec. Because it's not just the reputation of, it's the reputation of the Quebec government, it's the reputation of the city of Montreal, and it's the reputation of McGill that are affected by what happened over the last 2 months and a half. I mean, when you think about it, the McGill is the most respected institution that we have in Quebec and even in Canada on many aspects. And it's not been treated like it should have been over the last few weeks. And it's totally unacceptable. And I don't understand why. It's one thing to write something on Twitter and say like you're not happy at the city of Montreal. It's another thing to be on the ground and say we need to take action. We need solutions, not to find who's guilty of what. We needed a solution. Today they found a solution. Well, it's a private firm. Good, but for the next time, what's going to happen? What if tomorrow morning they're at Concordia? What's going to be the answer? What's going to happen? What did we learn from McGill?
And what should we learn from McGill, Éric? What? I mean, because there is a freedom of expression question. There are valid issues. I mean, 2 Quebec Superior Court judges said there was not enough evidence to warrant a provisional injunction.
But there's things I don't understand. Last week, if you recall, the firefighters showed up, and they wanted to visit because there was problems and there was safety issues. Well, they were not allowed on site. In Montreal, if you recall also during the Grand Prix in Montreal on Peel, they arrived there and they decided to shut down the terrace, the people who were eating outside during the Grand Prix weekend, and it took a few hours and everything was cleaned up. How come, for example, I'm just using an example, but that's one of the lessons we need to find out what went wrong. How come it's possible to shut down restaurants that easy, but illegal people occupying a land, it takes 2 months and a half? There's things that people who are listening right now don't understand for sure. Like, it makes no sense from the outside when you're looking at it. We want to find what is the legal problem that made such a thing possible? Is it the lack of political leadership? Is it because they were scared? Is it because of the cause? Because there's people politically who sympathize with those guys? Why was there a blockage out there? We need to find out. And the other thing also that we need to find out, and nobody's talking about it, David, but I think it's very, very important. Who's funding those people? Because I was at McGill on Monday. I saw them. They have funds. They're providing free food to people. They have installations that arrived overnight. I've got all sorts of people testifying that, there was people there that were organizers, so-called organizers. Who's funding those people? It's very concerning. Does it come from overseas? How could we track that? I think there's also an investigation that needs to be done to make sure, because we need to find out who is funding that. Many of those people who were protesting, and even the dean said it today, it's not even students of McGill. Even those who were negotiating with the university, they were masked and they refused to identify themselves. We don't even know if they're university students. It's really, really concerning.
Yeah, well, that's one of the many questions that remain about who was organizing this. I mean, a 66-year-old man was arrested.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to find out if that person was a student. I doubt it, but anyways, we'll find out. Éric, that's all the time I have. Thank you very much for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much, David. Bye now.
Conservative Party of Quebec leader Éric Duhaime.